Hi, it's Thomas Sellers Jr. here, and welcome back to my office. And it's that time of the year. It's time for us to have our awards, and we have Athlete of the Year coming up. Back in 2006, the Millington Stars started this tradition of Athlete of the Year for the best male and female athlete. In recent years, we've grown it to allow sophomores, juniors, and seniors to be up for this award who play multiple sports throughout the TSSAA calendar year. Our first winners way back in 2006 were Whitney Robinson of Brighton and Buck Wakefield of Mumford. And the tradition has grown stronger over the years with Alan Cross of Millington winning. He went on to go into the NFL. We had Crystal Williams of Mumford to win it, state champion. We had Britt Sanford to win it, and she came back in her community. She graduated from Brighton. She came back to Brighton to coach and help these kids be the next Athlete of the Year candidates. So we have a rich tradition. The names in the list are who's who from Mumford, Brighton, Tipton, Rosemark, and Millington. So who has that chance to win it in 2021? Well, let's find out. So when we get back, we'll let you see the 7 candidates for female and the 7 candidates for male Athlete of the Year. First we have up, and keep in mind we're going in alphabetical order, Demario Gatlin of Brighton. Two-sport athlete. He played basketball this year in track. Basketball season, he was a leader on and off the court for the Brighton Cardinals, playing for his dad, Stan Gatlin. And he has grown and matured into a wonderful basketball player. Has a couple college tryouts coming up this summer, so let's hope he gets to that next level. But in his downtime, he did a little track, and he made it to the state in the high jump, where he finished just outside of the medal contention. So he could actually go to college in track. Has a very athletic frame and very physical. You know, he's a big guy out there on the court. I guess it's those Gatlin genes, but Demario Gatlin shined this past year as a leader on and off the court. Too bad injuries nicked him up towards the end of his basketball season, but when he was out there, he made a huge difference, and that's the reason why Demario Gatlin made it to our list as a finalist for Athlete of the Year. Next we have TJ Graves of Millington Central High School. Just finished up his junior year. Some people in the community know him as the Vicious Panda. The reason why is because he's an all-region performer on both sides of the ball, the defensive line and the offensive line. And then the young man, I guess he doesn't give enough physicality. He goes over to wrestling, and where he made it to state for the 2nd year in a row in the heavyweight weight class. Trimmed up this year, slimmed up, and got quicker and faster and got stronger. Now, a birdie told me that next year he'll have an even better chance of winning Athlete of the Year because he's going to go back to pitching. And they say he can throw the ball over 80 miles per hour. So the kid has multi-talent and just a good all-around kid, good person. So a big part of this award is community and how you represent your community and yourself. And TJ does an excellent job on all phases of being a student athlete. That's why he earned this spot. Next up, some people might be wondering who this kid is. Garrett Haley, he came out of nowhere during his junior campaign. Played wide receiver for the Millington Trojan and was the go-to guy for McCoy Pugh. Remember that name, might pop on our athlete list down the line. But Garrett Haley was his go-to receiver. He had big plays, big catches, big touchdown plays throughout the football season. Now, something he's been doing his whole time at Millington is wrestling. And he hit that mat, made it to state yet again. So this kid right here is, you know, that dark horse, workhorse type of kid. But Garrett Haley's definitely earned his spot here as an Athlete of the Year candidate. And watch out for him during his senior year because, like you said, the community aspect, got that down. Student aspect, got that down. And he handles his business on the field as well. That's why he earned his spot here. Next up is a familiar face to our Athlete of the Year. He's repeat guy, Gavin Haynes. Brighton Mumford, dual athlete and dual school attendee. I guess I never had that before in our history of doing this award. But Gavin started off his senior season at Brighton, where he became an all-region linebacker. Trust me, the people at Millington know him because he took back a turnover for a touchdown, and he shows you that he has explosive speed. But he's known for his power on the mat. Finally made it to state this year, where he won multiple matches up at state. So that's his calling card. That's where he would like to go in the future and compete in college. But Gavin is a well-rounded young man, fought adversity through his childhood and came up to earn his spot in Tipton County. And he's proud to represent Tipton County. That's why he's here on this list. And we're proud to have him as a Millington Star Athlete of the Year candidate yet again. Our next male Athlete of the Year candidate comes from Tipton Rosemark Academy and Tucker James. As you can see from the picture, he was a catcher. And he was the man in charge of the great pitching unit that got them to state this year. Patrick Green, Zach Zeward, and Noah Rowland. So Tucker was their go-to guy, the guy that they could rely on and Coach Cole could trust to make sure those guys did what they need to do. Now in football, he's been an all-state performer over the years as a linebacker and running back. Big tough guy. He was our cover boy in Gridiron Glory. So we got a chance to talk to him how important his senior season was. And he said he wasn't going to waste any moment. As you can tell, with his team going to state and his football team being very competitive, he didn't waste any moment. That's why he earned his spot here as an Athlete of the Year candidate. Next up is Javaris Tolton of Mumford High School, senior this past year, two-sport athlete competing in soccer and basketball. Now in soccer, you see a guy that is known to be a power forward coming up on you playing defense, you might get a little intimidated. So he used his big frame to clear the middle for the strikers on Mumford team all season. So he's a serviceable guy. He's not going to get the big stats from him there. But in basketball, he was an automatic double-double machine. Was a huge reason why Mumford had a good run and had a good shot against Bartlett in basketball going to regionals this past year. So Javaris Tolton, the guy that's known for his rebounding, known for scoring on the inside, has that frame and that soft touch. He's like a poor man's Zach Randolph, as I like to call him. But there's nothing poor about his skill in his game, and he's definitely earned his spot as a two-time Athlete of the Year candidate. Last and certainly not least, for the male Athlete of the Year candidates, we head back to Millington Central High School for Milton Yarbrough. This kid right here is a three-sport athlete. I've seen him all year, from sun up to sundown, from COVID to we not wearing masks anymore. Started off in the football season, cornerback, had that pick six at Tipton Rosemart, speed, became a ball hawk, was a great defender for the Millington Trojans. Then this kid doesn't take a break. He heads over to wrestling where he makes it to state, one of the most competitive guys in his weight class throughout the whole year, and a team leader, pushed and motivated everybody else. Never miss a practice, never miss anything, with a hurt shoulder all year. Goes with that hurt shoulder to soccer and helps that team achieve history by winning a region title by playing defense and getting the ball to the strikers using his athleticism. So one of our most unselfish kids on this list, who now just had their surgery, getting ready to start his career outside of high school, Milton Yarbrough definitely earned his spot here as Athlete of the Year candidate. Now it's time for the ladies, and we start off with Miss Jordan Allen of Tipton Rosemark Academy. As you can see back here, volleyball, she was one of the key players alongside, as I like to call her, the test, SAT, Sarah Allen Thornell, and being a cohort of offense and good defense blocking and everything. Got them to sub-state. And then the young lady jumps into basketball, helped that team have a great run to sub-state, almost making it back to state. She was part of the historic team of 2020. Was the first Lady Rebels team to make it to state in basketball. She was a power forward, rebounder, and as the years progressed, she became a sure basket on the inside. Now she decided to take her talents to the next level in volleyball, but she could have easily made it in basketball, and she played softball as a freshman and was a part of a successful team there as well, going to state and played as a freshman. So she could have easily done that all 4 years. So Jordan Allen is one of those standout athletes that we'll always remember here at the Millington Star, and that's why she's definitely earned her spot on this list. A young lady that's special to me, I noticed since she was a little girl, DeMiyah Gatlin, that makes this list representing Brighton High School. It was sad how her basketball season went. She hurt her knee in the preseason for basketball, but fought her way back through rehab to get back to the district tournament playing game, where she helped her Brighton Lady Cardinals pull off an upset to earn a spot in regionals. That right there alone helped her make the list. But her great volleyball season, where she was one of the leading scorers and producer in spikes and kills, definitely earned her spot on here. Now she's getting ready to head off to Southwest to play basketball. So it's great news here for us to hear that she's going to get a chance to continue her basketball career and prove herself as she's progressed in both sports over the years. So we're proud to have DeMiyah Gatlin on this list. Now we head back to Tipton Rosemark Academy for our next candidate, Brianna Hall. Spectacular senior year in both her sports of soccer and basketball. She became a leader in both sports over the years. I think she started playing them as an 8th grader. So she progressed nicely. She's the all-time leading scorer in soccer at Tipton Rosemark with 126 goals, I think. And she added on to that her senior year, of course. Then in basketball, she's the 2nd all-time leading scorer behind Megan Sefratello. And that speaks volumes right there. Her career is distinguished at Tipton Rosemark Academy, but her senior year was special as well when she helped both these teams achieve success and became a leader on and off the court. And she'll have a night that will always be remembered in the upper echelon of athletes at Tipton Rosemark Academy and at the Millington Star. That's why she earned a spot on this list. Representing Millington Central High School is Micaiah Halliburton. Talented three-sport athlete, and another one of those athletes kept me busy all year. Was a defender on the soccer team that achieved history. First one to ever win a region title. Well, they made it to regionals at Millington Central High School. Had to go on the road for that sub-state game, but she's a part of that historic team. Then she was part of the basketball team as the point guard, the leader on and off the floor of a team in transition that was growing and blossoming under head coach Jason Nichols this past year, and they made it to regionals. Then she wrapped up her year by going to track, making it to sectionals, representing the school in a couple events. So all-around talented athlete, wonderful young lady that has a smart head on her shoulders, and she's looking forward to her senior year, where she thinks everything would take another level, where she'd be going to state and having some team success. But right now, her success is an individual recognition as an Athlete of the Year candidate. Next up, we have Miss Allie Newman. Now, Tipton Rosemark Academy, senior. Now, softball is her forte. Soccer is something that she got very good at. Was a productive athlete out there. Had an opportunity to score some goals. She was the most hard-luck player that I ever watched in soccer. She would get a chance, a shot on goal, and goals would make the best, absolute best athletic save they ever made in their life to keep her down. But she never stopped playing hard because she got that mentality from her dad, who was a great athlete at Mumford High School. She gets onto the softball field, hits nearly 500, plays center field, leadoff, and then she bats third in the lineup to help that team make it to the state championship game, where they came up just a little short this year. But she's definitely left her legacy as a great softball player and is getting ready to head on to the next level at Dyersburg, where I'm sure she's going to have great success. And we are proud to have her on our list as an Athlete of the Year candidate. Stop me if you heard this name before, Maiya Reed. This is our defending female Athlete of the Year from Mumford High School. Great senior year. Started off with soccer, where she led the team in scoring and maybe led them in red cards. I have to check that one out to make sure. But Maiya, that lets you know that she's hard-nosed and passionate about what she does. So she takes us to the basketball court, where she's the leading scorer and helps that team be competitive all season. She was Coach Poindexter's go-to person on and off the court, leader by example. Then she gets to wrap up her Mumford High School career, which is distinguished already with track, where she was part of the 4x8 meter relay team that made it to state and competed in several other events. So Maiya Reed is a wonderful athlete, but wonderful person and student. We got a chance to sit down with her last year and get to know her. The girl from California who just wants to make her dad proud as he serves our country on that ship. He's away from the family all the time. She wants him to hear that good news and read good reports. And her being an Athlete of the Year candidate is definitely a good report. And last and certainly not least, for our female Athlete of the Year candidate, Miss Cara Spence. She's getting ready to head off to Dyersburg in soccer. Soccer was her main sport per se, where she was one of the leading scorers, very productive player. But then she also kept herself busy, and she also rolled her best friend Maiya Reed through soccer, then basketball, where she was a defender, outside shooter. Now the folks in Millington know her quite well, because I think it was her sophomore year where she hit 9 3-pointers in a game. So she got hot. She got hot. And then she wrapped up her competitive career at Mumford with track, also part of that relay team that made it to state. So this young lady has definitely earned a name for herself and earned a spot on this list. Now, as we get ready to wrap things up, we'll be back in 1 second to do a little housekeeping, because this year you get to play a part in who will be Athlete of the Year. You'll have 2 opportunities, ways to vote, and we'll be back with our, the breakdown of how you can use social media to help us figure out the 2021 Athletes of the Year. And we're back, and okay, I admit I'm old, and this thing kind of confuses me sometimes. We're going to try to do something on Instagram. I ain't going to lie, this old man don't know what he's doing, but I know someone who can. Y'all who been out there at these games, y'all seen her before. My goddaughter, Taliyah Chalmers. Let me get her in here to explain how you can vote on Instagram. Give me 1 second.
Hi, it's Taliyah here, and I'm going to explain to you how you can vote on Instagram. First, you will go to the Millington Star Instagram story, and you will see a list of candidate names. Then you will type in that candidate's name for male and female Athlete of the Year, and we will tally those votes. Now I'm going to pass it on to the old man to explain how to vote on Twitter and Facebook.
The old man is back, and thank you, Taliyah, for your help there with our Instagram. We'll give you 1 day to vote, but you'll have 2 weeks to vote when we start opening up Twitter, We'll have each one of the candidates' picture on there. The one that gets the most retweets will earn a vote. Then we'll also post those same pictures on Facebook. Whoever gets the most likes will earn a vote. So that is 3 additional votes that will go into our office pool for this year's Athlete of the Year. So you do have a say-so. So once we open these up on the Millington Star Facebook, Millington Star Twitter, and Millington Star Instagram, make sure you go support your favorite athlete and have your say-so in this year's Athlete of the Year candidate. We'll open up votes starting June 5th, and we'll conclude on June 18th for Facebook and Twitter, and June 6th is for Instagram. So get out there and vote for one of these 14 great athletes. We'll have 2 winners that we'll announce in July.